Hey, it's Ernest T. I can see you, but you can't see me because you ain't heard the last of Ernest T. Bass. Andy Griffith, man. I grew up on that. A lot of people don't remember that. People will say, what the heck is he talking about? Anyway, hey, today is 9/6/2025. It's like 12:53 if your time stamping. I want to go over. I just got to listen to the budget meeting, and I have a lot of stuff. I'll put out a few videos on a lot of stuff that I've actually learned. But anyway, let's go with the budget meeting, and let's go through that. Let's see. For those of you who didn't get to, weren't in attendance and haven't watched the video, um, I'm going to agree with you. Is that audio sucked? People talking off camera, so you don't really know what the discussion of it was, um, and maybe just because it was uh, a budget open meeting. But if anybody listens to me, I'd like to put your microphone down so people can hear what you're going to say. I mean, for God's sakes. I mean, so anyway, but first of all, before we get started with that, I want to thank all the commissioners who participated in this meeting because this, for the first time that I've been following this, they all spoke up and spoke their opinion. Precinct 3 commissioner, um, I'm glad I'm precinct 3 now. A lot of people said when he got in office, he's not ready, whatever. But that's kind of something, I mean, and he may not be the smartest man in the world, but I'm telling you this right now, he's not afraid to speak his mind and have an open discussion. And that's what we need. And I want to thank all the commissioners for doing that. Maybe they heard this or whatever. Um, the first thing is that we went through with Miss Wren, our new district attorney. She's asking for some raises to her department. She's going to create another district attorney number one, assistant district attorney number one. She's asking for like $150,000 for this salary. At this time, my thinking on this is that our DA has been so screwed up in the past. Give her whatever she needs to do her job. Give her the money to do her job and be able to address these issues that have come up in the past. I don't feel I don't I feel sorry for her because she's got to come in and clean everybody's mess up. So let's give her the tools to do that. Um, Especially because the fact is that we've got deaths in jails that haven't even been investigated. Her office has not had a chance to investigate it. Um, but I'm sure that she recognizes the importance of an investigation by a DA. Now, the next thing is that, and this is just kind of speculation and my uh, layman knowledge of politics. The sheriff, they're asking for a raise for their employees, 2.5% um, across the board. They're going to be adding some, or they're going to be reshuffling their department, the top echelon of their um, organization, and so that's going to be happening or whatever. Like in my speculation, I'm speculating that the pressure's been put on not only by the people that have submitted or in Angelina County who have raised concerns about 2 deaths in the jail, but they're starting to get heat from outside agencies, and I'm not talking about just uh, regular investigations by which is their fellow compadres is from the DPS and jail system because they're in on it. So all these people are starting to get some heat, and it has started to reflect, and it's actually starting to get out. And I believe that this reshuffling is a ploy to reduce the civil litigation when it comes up. Um, the reason why I say this is because they can always say, "Well, we moved that person. We moved that person. We made changes. We've changed everything." Hopefully, to decrease the settlements. Um, but I don't see that happening because whoever's responsible, they're going to sue you in your professional. Any attorney who's going to pursue it in your personal and official capacity. Um, so there goes that. Now, um, in line with that is that they want to hire somebody to actually do the open records request. And this is a result of people asking for information that they need as taxpayers. Now, let me give you my take on this is that if you want to decrease the amount of freedom of information requests, here's how you do that. You be transparent up front. You don't hide anything. Because people in Angelina County are now waking up and saying, you know what they say is not always true. And plus, the fact is that we've kind of lost trust in our government and our sheriff's department because the fact is what they say and what they do are actually two different things. This is the increase of freedom of information request because Angelina County said, well, that don't make no damn sense. And we've been shoved down our throat. Well, you got to trust us. Well, no, we don't trust you no more because the fact is that this is not the first time you pull this kind of crap about not telling us what really happened. And we can go on and on and on and on about that. But this is not the first occasion for this to happen. It's going to continue um, until we get the right answers. And keep in mind, we're not the only, that the Angelina County residents are not the only one who's issuing freedom of information requests to our county. We've got multiple news agencies and media that are requesting information, not to mention the investigators and also the attorneys. And you have to understand, in an attorney's office that's representing Angelina County, or who is actually bringing them to court, they have investigators. And these investigators, they go deep dive into all the documentation and invitation. So they do their own constant investigation, or whatever matter. They do their own investigation. This is to support the civil cases that are actually being brought against Angelina County, and also to rebut some of their BS situations they're actually giving the public, because to be honest with you, they're relying on they're relying on us to be stupid and not say anything. They're questioning our intelligence, and at some point in time, they're going to question our intelligence too much. Like, okay, that don't make no sense. Judge Wright, a couple of years ago, when he first took office or whatever, the roads were a big issue or whatever. And one meeting went by and they didn't mention the roads, and they didn't mention anything about it, whatever. And at the close of the meeting, I guess it was off record or on record, but maybe it was off record. But he was there in the courtroom and he said, "Well, y'all just going to have to trust us. Y'all just trust us on the roads." Well, we trusted you, and ain't been nothing done. So little by little, we're losing trust in our government. And if they would just come up and be upfront with us and honest with us, then it will start to turn around. Until that happens, it's not going to get any better. And the freedom of information requests are going to actually not only double, but maybe even triple, because the fact is that they've been caught in a lie. And now people are asking, okay, what else did you lie about? Or what else are you withholding? I've spoken to many people. Many people have had issues with the county claiming their land, whether it's their land, because when they bought it, this was a part that they paid for it. But now the county's saying it's part of the county, and many other people who have been run over by the government, and basically these issues are buried, and the individual who this is happening to cannot uh, gain support from the community, because the fact is that what, it's not happening to me. I don't care, But when you flip that over, you're going to say, well, if it happened to them, it could happen to me. And it doesn't really matter what your name is or whatever. If they gonna do what they want to do when they want to do it, and you're just going to have to accept it. And they know that by keeping certain information silent, then they can get away with whatever they want to do. And this has been par for the course. It has been bad for the county. It has these issues have been bad for multiple cities, and multiple cities don't even want to deal with the county anymore, and rightly so. Um, and you would think that the county would want to extend, some kind of help, some kind of something to help these cities, but no, it's not their responsibility or whatever. But getting back to the sheriff's department, they declined the raises across the board, um, 2.5%. They went down from 86 hours to 84 hours that they were going to pay for. Plus, these guys are getting overtime too, so they're trying to cut out the overtime. And plus, the fact is that here's the direct message to the sheriff: the commissioners cannot order you to release information. They cannot order you or imply you to request to respond to an open meetings. They cannot require you to do it. But what we just learned today is, guess what? They can control your funding. And if they find out that your personnel that you have are not properly trained, well, the commissioner's court took a step today and said, no, we're not going to give you a raise because you haven't performed, you haven't earned it. Now, there are many good people who work at the sheriff's department who actually work overtime and they get a lot of hours and they get paid for it. But there are a lot of good people there. But then we got that 10%, and that 10% has actually caused deaths in the jail. So maybe this is the way the commissioners say, you know what? No, you're on the skyline now, and we're looking how much money we're going to be giving you because your people are not trained. Incidents keep happening in the jail. They're kind of blaming it on the health issue, the health personnel that was there that evening, but you can't. The civil lawsuits, the two civil lawsuits, they're going to go around that because the fact is that you were there and you participated in it as a sheriff, as a jailer, and that's not going to fly. So, and moving forward, I couldn't hear all of it. I finally just like I can't hear. I can't make an educated decision on what they're saying or whatever. So I'm not going to cover it. I got through 3/4 of the meeting and. It was just ridiculous. I mean, I couldn't hear people in the background talking or whatever. So you didn't know what points were made or whatever. So it's very difficult to give a full assessment on this. However, the fact is that those are the things that I picked up, and those are the things that I think the county is concerned about as far as our money moving forward. Um, I haven't seen the bottom line of the budget yet because they haven't made a full decision. This is just a proposal. I'm going to get a copy of that proposal, and I'm going to go line by line and see exactly what happened. Um, but there's always that possibility that they have been taught not to pull their microphones down when everybody can hear them. So it's just a conversation among them, which is a public meeting, which is not supposed to happen. I want to thank I want to thank Commissioner 3, Commissioner 4. I want to thank Kermit Kennedy for his input and the points he made, which were actually very, very good, and also the issues that Commissioner County 3. I don't know his name. I think it's Barry, but I don't remember who got voted in or not because we have so much turnover in the commissioner's office. It's like, okay, who's running the show here? And it seems to change constantly, but he did exactly what we have had. These individuals, commissioners, did exactly what we need to do in every meeting. Basically, it boils down to is like they need to stand up to the judge and voice their opinion. Now, in this issue about hiring the person for the Freedom of Information request responses, each one of them voiced their opinion, say no, we don't want to do that. However, Judge Wright wanted this position. He wanted this position because the fact is that he was getting an overflow, and he didn't like having to deal with the Freedom of Information request, and he didn't have. So basically, this was for him. None of the other commissioners experienced this issue. It was for his purpose only, to make his willpower. I'm gonna stop these freedom of information requests. I'm gonna get a vote so that way I don't have to deal with them anymore. Dude, you deal with that crap on your own. If you are getting freedom of information requests multiple, it's because the fact is people understand you are not being transparent. This is a way that citizens will actually come back at you and say, you know what, we want you to show us. Every person should be asking of their government, how, why, who said so, show me, and not the word trust, because we have trusted this system for too long, and we have not questioned this system too long, and now it's time for us to actually stand up and say, we don't trust you anymore, and you need to show us how you're doing this, the reason why you come to this decision, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the fact is, you need to start showing us instead of just telling us the way things are. If Keith Wright wants to determine or wants to browbeat his commissioners into making a decision, then what happened today should happen. They should stand up to him and say, no. You have your own personal opinion, Judge. That's great. You're the tiebreaker here. But your job is not to talk me into voting one way or the other. And that is what we saw today. And we continue to see in our commissioners meeting. Explain the facts. Whenever they say they disagree with it or whatever, then don't question their decision. Don't try to talk them into it. Because the fact is that they've already made the decision. These individuals, okay, are representatives of us. And when they're shot down by the county judge, that's the same thing as a county judge slapping you in the face and saying, no, we're going to do it my way, and here's why. And trying to force their vote. And that's obvious if you watch any county commissioners meeting. So anyway, I want to go through those items. I also want to make one note, last thing. The district attorney, Ms. Rand, she stand up, and if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, somebody please correct me, but that's how I perceived that. But it's par for the course for her in her history that she has a very strong stance on child abuse. She has a strong stance on sexual abuse of children. She has a strong opinion on sexual predators, sexual deviation. She is very strong in that, and that is one of the things she brings to the party. I hope that she will realize that what her DA's office is up against, and she did get what she wanted, basically. And like I said, throw whatever money you need to throw at her to fix this damn system that we call the sheriff's department, and let's start peeling back the onion, so we can get to the real problem. So, the way she presented herself, the way she came and she asked, I respected that. It was a good first impression from me. And she did definitely cover these areas, and I'm glad she did, because it's something that we have to pay attention to, and I'm glad her office is on it. I hope that she pays attention to also the corruption that's going on inside her office, especially involving these two cases of a death in a jail. I hope that she will assign an investigator to look at the an independent third party, not DPS, because DPS is involved in it with Texas Department of Jail Standards. And we're going to soon find that out. However, the fact is that I wish her all luck, and I fully understand it's going to take her some time to get on her feet, because she's got to clean up a mess from two different district attorneys, and she needs more staff to do that. She needs more people to actually address these issues, and she needs assistant district attorneys, basically, so we can actually not only provide these sexual deviations, but also the fact that we can keep our government in line, and they know that the DA is going to stand up and say, no, you can't do that. No, you were wrong. And so anyway, it's going to be a short video. Like I said, I'm going to be dropping some videos here. I've got an answer from the attorney from the attorney from the county denying or sending a letter to the attorney general answering my rebuttal, and I got that back in. I tore it apart. I mean, I just ripped through it or whatever, because the fact is that it's unsubstantiated, it's overreach, and it's anyway. I'll go over that next in the video. Anyway, you guys keep your powder dry, stay alert, watch them, question them, and always ask why. How come? Show me. All right, guys, you be good, be careful, and I'm out.